Hello everyone and a very warm welcome. In our previous tutorial, we understood the project structure and we created our Hello World custom action. In this tutorial, we are going to sign this custom action and upload it into make.powerapps.com custom actions section. So without wasting any further time, let's go ahead and sign and upload our custom action. So first and foremost, I would like you to visit this link that is creating and importing a site certificate. This particular link is a part of the custom actions learn is a part of custom action series. So let me quickly clean up my PowerShell and let's copy this code out here. So this code will help us create a self-signed certificate with an hash algorithm SHA-256. This will also help us to save a password to our certificate. Finally, it exports the PFX certificate to a given path or a given location. So what should be the name of our certificate? Let's say PA template custom actions. Next, what we want to do, we want to go ahead and export the above certificate. So nothing changes in line number 2. Line number 3, we need to set up a password. So I'll set up a top secret password such as Claven. Then I will export this certificate to a path, right? It needs a path and we need to prefix it with PFX. So let me go ahead and save the file in a folder custom actions in my D drive. So what I'll do, I'll copy this path and change it out here, right? And let me hard code the name of the certificate. I'll just say cert.pfx. So as soon as I run this code, this should generate a PFX certificate in my custom actions folder. Next, what we want to do is we want to double click and export the certificate. So let me double click on it. Let me follow this instructions to the letter. So first it tells me I want to export it as a current user perfect. Next it tells me a certificate to import. So this I'll click on next, and on the next screen I think Microsoft went ahead and missed a screen in between. I want to go ahead and have a private key. Next, I want to go ahead and give it a password. The password that I set, I'll just quickly check. Perfect. The password is correct. I need to check the box mark key exportable and include all extended properties. So I'll click on next. This looks good. Finally, I want to import or have the certificate placed in trusted root authorities. So this looks good. I'll click on next. At this point, again, Microsoft went ahead and missed a screenshot. They should update it. I'll click on finish. So it gives me a security warning and it tells me you're about to install a certificate. Are you okay with it? I'll say yes. I'm okay with it, and then it tells me the certificate was imported successfully. So to check my certificate, what I can do is I can open my certificate manager, and in the certificate manager I can expand the root authority certificates and custom root authorities. So expand it and let's search for the certificate that we just imported. So our certificate name is PA custom template code action and it was imported today. So this looks good, right? This looks awesome. So that being said, now that we have gone ahead and created a certificate, imported it into our local trusted root certificate authorities folder, next step would be to sign the custom module. So to sign the custom module, it tells me that I should use a Visual Studio Developer prompt. So perfect. Let's go ahead and use that. Perfect. So this is my Visual Studio Developer prompt. It tells me that I need to pass it my PFX certificate and then I need to give it password, which I know, and then I need to specify a DLL. So let me first author this in my PowerShell. So I'll copy this. I first need to give it my certificate path. So the certificate path would be this. So right click, copy as path, change this out here. So this looks good. Next, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and specify the password for my certificate. That's also fine. I'll specify it. And then I want to specify the path for my DLL. And from where will I get that? So I need to go to Visual Studio. I need to right click on Properties. Sorry, I need to right click and say Open in File Explorer. This opens it up. I need to go into the bin. I need to go into the debug, and I need to go into the net 472 folder, and this is where my DLL is. So again, I'll shift right click, copy as path. I'll go back into my PowerShell where I'm authoring this. So understand this, I'm not going to run it from here. I'm just authoring it here. So I just need to change this. Perfect. I need to copy this and I need to drop it in the Visual Studio command prompt, and I'll hit enter. So it tells me that the certificate is signed. So that's pretty awesome, right? So things look good as of now. So next, what I want to do, I have signed it. I want to package it as a cabinet file. So whenever you go ahead and try to upload it, you cannot upload a DLL. You need to go ahead and upload a cabinet file. And here, my friends, Microsoft has done an awesome job by telling us how to create a cap file. So I can go into my PowerShell, I can paste it here, and what I'll do is that I'll save this. I'll save this under custom action and I'll give it a name. Let's look at Microsoft's recommendation before I name it. Let's do it make cab, right? So that's what they say. I'll go back, just say make cab file.ps1. Perfect. So now the cap file is created. So that looks good. Next, what I want to do is I'll do a CD and I'll change the location of where this PS1 file is located. So I'll just do CD custom action. So it goes there. So let's go back into the instructions. And here it tells me to pass in first the name of the PS1 file. That's perfectly fine. The absolute path of the source file directory where the DLL is there. So I know that. And second, it tells me the target directory to save the cap file. So that's awesome. We can just copy their example and we can make changes to it. So again, I'll go into my PowerShell, open a new PowerShell file and create a new PowerShell untitled file because I don't want to save this. We'll just leave it and we'll just use it as it is. So I'll just copy this path. So this is the path of my folder which includes or which has the DLL files. Next, I want to go ahead and have the custom actions. So what I can do is that I can copy maybe this folder, custom actions folder, and I'll name it hello.cap, a fancy name. So I'll run this. So it tells me that I have got some problems. So let me check. Okay. It seems that I have got some problem, but we'll try to fix it. Okay, it's not the end of the world. So let's try it again. Aha. So I should have not closed the double quote after the name. I need to close it after the path. Okay, so remember that. So once I go ahead and do that, I should have a cap file out here, which is awesome. Now that I have the cap file, what I need to do next? So it tells me the cap also needs to be signed, but there are no instructions on the cap to be signed. So this is again not good. So let me go ahead and help you with the instructions to sign the cap file. So to sign the cap file, we can again go ahead and use the signing tool and we need to, and I show you how it's done. Okay, so just bear with me. So I'm copying a command and I'll again author the command in my PowerShell and then paste it into my developer prompt. So here it will again ask me for the certificate path. So I need to sign the cab, understand this. So the certificate is here. So I can just go ahead and say copy as path. The password is awesome and I need to create or I need to store the signed cat file or the signed cap file into a folder. I'll just go ahead and save it in the same folder, right? So let me just shift, right click, copy as path and change this path out here. I'll copy this command and I'll drop it into my Visual Studio developer prompt and hit enter. Perfect. So even the cap file is now signed. Now that the cap file is signed, what I want to do is I want to upload this. So here I am in my make.powerapps.com and I'm under custom actions. Okay. Just to make sure that I have a clean slate, I'll refresh my browser and here it reloads. So clean slate. So I'll upload my custom action here and I can upload my hello.cap. I can just give it a name, hello world. So hello world demo. And I'll try to click on upload. And this should upload the cap file into my Power Automate, into my make.powerautomate portal. Now that I have it here, I need to launch my Power Automate desktop. And here I need to go ahead and create a new flow. I'll say hello world and I'll create a flow. So here under my assets library, I see the hello world DLL and I'll click on add. And if you see, it's successfully been added. Right? Once it's successfully been added, I see the hello world out here, which is awesome. And I can use the greet person one example. I'll say input my name. So I'll say Clavin Fernandez. I'll click on save and I'll click on run. So you see, it gives me hello Clavin Fernandez. So isn't that awesome? So here, my friends, you have created your first custom action in Power Automate desktop. Yes, it's a very simple example, a hello world example. But you should know the basics. So this is the basics of custom actions. That being said, we'll not stop at the basics, right? Who just wants to print hello world? Let's do something interesting. Let's create or try to go ahead and solve a real life problem. So we'll do it in the next tutorial. So stay tuned and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.